Okay, we are back with basically just finishing off the game. Once I get the platinum, that's going to be kind of it. Okay. So, yep, recording, checker. We got 2 achievements left. We got the gorilla one and we got the tripcaster one. So let's go to Apes on the Loose. I still find that hilarious, by the way. I think there's like a golden butterfly back. Google tap down. Oh yeah, by the way, I looked up how to try and get trophies to appear. Apparently if you're called via PlayStation, it just doesn't show. Butterfly locations. I really need to fix my tabs for this app that I use, because damn. Like, it basically slows down because they added an update for some stupid reason where instead of just not using your previous tabs but keeping like saved in a way, they now instead do this stupid thing where it'll basically track all the previous ones. Okay, I'm loading the thing now because I put my phone down to explain that. Also, in terms of making my Twitch/YouTube banner, I'm working on it. I think I'm going to have a Wukong staff in it. Okay, the IGN guide is once again useless for this game. Let's try push square. Probably go with butterfly or something. After starting the level and getting the net, capture the first one up the wall. Okay. Got one that works. Thank you, push square in particular. IGN's one literally just said, here's the level where it is. Have fun finding them. Which is kind of funny. Like, obviously I have 60 minutes just to talk with you guys, so, you know, I could do anything. Realistically, so I am just going to sort of mess around even though I have the pictures and images. Like, there's one that's clearly like up past that wall, kind of. But you know, it's 2 levels over 60 minutes. Like, I think I can do it pretty easily. The good old spam technique. Also, I tried this new Venom thing. It's not a Venom character thing. It's a Venom... controller thing for the PlayStation 5 controller. I'd recommend it. It's like £20. It's reasonably cheap. What it does is basically it goes into the socket where you would usually plug like the wire to connect it, right? And what it does is it just sits there, and then you sort of can just use it like you know the Xbox One, where you'll probably know what I mean if you played Xbox and you've got one of those things for it, where you just pop it on. It does that exact gimmick, and I think it's really good because it turns the USB holder into just an easy one to just pop in. And there's enough room so I can put my thingy on it as well. My audio jack for the thing. So it's pretty nice. Okay, so which one where did that say? It basically said that zone right there, that area right there, that exact pixel of that bush, yeah, that's where it is. I'm gonna grab the monkeys because I find the monkeys a bit fun. I'm listening to music in the background, so I'm not sure if that's going to pick up. I am annoyed about PlayStation not giving me the ability to... Yeah, so that's where the golden butterfly should be. Did I not get a single one of these guys? My god, this guy runs fast. Got him! Oh, I only needed one. Net profit. Caught the gold butterfly on 8 on the loose. So that's all of them. I have no idea how I'm going to do the tripcaster one because I didn't even know that was a thing. That's all I could do in her one. But yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I just don't like. One thing about this game that I don't like is the gimmick of, oh look, it's an ASTRO BOT without its head on. You know, I don't like that. It's gonna be, honestly, least favourite mechanic of this game. Or at least concept, you know? I don't like it. I get why people do like it. I think it's like, it can be cute. Like, it's quite cute. To be fair, it is quite cute. The game just had a sudden lag spike there. This rendering water is pretty hard. Well, obviously it is. Imagine how much the poor thing, the poor PlayStation 5 has to render that. Because when you think about it, the PlayStation 5 isn't stronger than your regular PC. If you have a PC. You know, obviously. PCs are bound to be stronger. Yeah, because you can just spend so much money on a PC. That's the thing, like, you can just spend such a ridiculous amount of money on a PC. Like, it should be stronger. And if it isn't, you know, there's something wrong with your PC. If you just, you know, run emulation or whatever on it, like, or little, like, flash computer game sort of thing, that's fine. Nobody's gonna hate on you for that. I think that, you know, a PC should be able to play, like, the majority of modern games. At a sort of base level, you should be able to play, you know, if you can run some Nautica fine, if you can run Gary's mod fine, if you can run like all these sort of high power games fine, I think that's fair. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you can run Gary's mod perfectly fine, your PC's probably good. A ton of mods, if it runs fine, probably good. Some people might think otherwise, but I think this is very true. You know, if it works, it works. Yeah, I am working on my banner. It's going to be probably a cloud with a lightning bolt. and then the lightning bolt hits water, and then there's going to be like a Wukong staff for it. Just because in general Wukong is like one of the first games on the channel. I think maybe some Dragon Balls and like a Yu-Gi-Oh card would be appropriate as well. I might put Draconic Knight there. And then I'll put like the Twitch logo on one version of the banner, and then the and the YouTube logo, like the YouTube details on like the Twitch one. I think that's fair and that works. Where was Aloy? She was in the Chameleon, wasn't she? She's either in the Chameleon or this one. No, sure. Pardon me, she was on the bird one, sorry. Where's my maneuvers? My new tricks? Okay, what's the achievement called exactly? What a trip. ASTRO BOT. What a trip. Let's trust IGN because it's the first result. Come on, IGN. Is this a trip, Justin? Oh. Oh. Oh, I see. So we might do this level twice then, just to figure it out. The trip wires are the wires that I mentioned beforehand, where I was like, are those the trip wires? I felt Aloy had an extra ability. Also, I want to mention this because I didn't before. This game very much takes the idea of like the Lego Horizon sort of case. Which, to be fair, I think Lego Horizon should be like logically Aloy's end goal, if that makes sense. It might not make sense to some people, but I think that makes sense. Because Aloy's entire like character like idea from the first two games is that she's untrusting. I think it fairly is. I think it's fair in her world. Obviously she's just a human, like how much can she really do? Like she isn't a god, you know. Like there is a limitation on how much she can do, but you know, in the game sense you don't really understand that as much. As comparison to like, they really do get machine learning. Remember when we got the first robot that could travel across stairs? That was kind of fun, wasn't it? Yeah, I think Aloy, as I mentioned in the video where, you know, the actual video of this one, where I went through the base level of this without knowing anything. I was like, yeah, Aloy has moments where it's like, reasonably, I think that she couldn't won that, get through a task like completely unscathed, and she does. So she is like, on some level, a higher than natural human. It's kind of like how you see like Deadpool and stuff like survive much longer than they logically should be able to in like, you know, before getting injured. Like you have some Deadpool comics where it's like, oh, I got through barely anything without getting scathed, and other times it is. So it is sort of a little bit of like story writing, if that makes sense, and also a little bit of not. Like, I do like the Alloy games. Also, I'm gonna be honest, the first game would have been, the second game would have been much more better if PlayStation knows I played the previous games, I should have access to all of Alloy's previous weapons. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. It is genuinely, I think it is stupid that I don't get some of the coolest weapons from the first game, especially the DLC weapons. Just because, oh, but you didn't go through, you know, like, why would Alloy put down her weapons ever and never pick them up? Like, the fact that I can't get back the tear off machine that just tears off stuff annoyed me. That does annoy me, to be honest. Oh, these guys aren't affected. Okay. Had to check. So I want to save as many of these as I can, because these are trip casters apparently. Oh, okay. Or not. What a trip. And defeated 7 enemies with the tripcaster. Total trophy progress 100%. And astronomical. And all trophies well done, and see you in Astro's next adventure. So that's about 17 minutes. So there probably is going to be a bonus one. Bonus ones are effectively where I do 2 things. No, I do 2 different games in a day, so you guys get 2 uploads. Because whenever I see like me do a 17-minute thing or whatever, I usually go like, oh well, I should have done, you know, a little bit more. This way, it gives me a chance to do more. All alone, my thoughts and our dreams, and my days wasted. I'm all away. I give my whole to the yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next on the channel. I think Wukong is, you know, better as a stream game, even though I do like grinding quite a bit. I think it does better as a stream game. Just because, like, the idea that there's 18 parts or something is a lot. I am gonna try and get to, because my problem is that I was planning because of that person who said, oh, maybe you should do Wukong. I'd love to see you play Wukong. And it's like, well, just check on my channel. Like, I have way more impressive showings than whatever I'm gonna pull off after not playing the game for multiple months. You know, that's one of the things I feel about games. Oh yeah, so back onto my topic with Horizon. I think Horizon is one of the games where I definitely noticed it the most. Where it's like, okay, so why don't you have like all the previous stuff from this game? Like, there's no real reason not to. If that makes sense. Like, I know that's like a case where it's like, you know, you can be like, well, you don't have to, and it's like, yeah, but you do kind of have to. There's no reason not to. There's no like actual reason why you can't put all the items in. Especially like if you want to do that, why not like as a promo case where you've got a kind of You know, not what I mean, you know, chance to lose, but like, that's why I don't like people saying that you should play every game in a series. It's because there's not going to be every part of the game that you liked, you know, in every game you play. And this is the thing some people have to know, because like with the Horizon games, there is a definite point where it's like, yeah, certain things that just aren't going to be in the next game or whatever. Like, and you've got to learn that. Like, I obviously think there is like a case where, like, you know, this sort of idea makes sense, but it's like in Miles Morales, I mean Spider-Man 2, for an easy example. Why not have it so that, you know, I get access to the suit powers and stuff? Because while you might say that it's not a cool idea in terms of like, you know, the idea that these mechanics and stuff are in a game for like a reason or whatever, but like Spider-Man 2 should have had those suit powers, because it just made the original game feel a lot more complete. If that makes sense. Like, it made the game feel more complete because there was more that you could alter with your Spider-Man. Your Spider-Man is different from another person's Spider-Man, and that's one of the reasons I love that game so much. Because it just was a cool idea. You sort of, the suit powers along with this felt more unique because there was more of a reason to have each suit. There wasn't just the inherent reason of like, you know, you should do this because you should. There was a case where it's like, well, you don't have to. You can get whatever suit you want, but there is an inherent reason why you should be able to. You don't have to if you don't want it. Like, if I don't want to, you know, I don't know, what's a good example? Like, if I want the Ghost Rider suit in Spider-Man 1, right? Why can't I utilize, you know, the Ghost Rider powers? That makes sense. Also, because, you know, that stream where I just rambled about Spider-Man 2 the entire time isn't up anymore, I'll quickly do my point of like, why isn't in that game all of Peter's suits there and all of Miles' suits there? Well, it's actually because they decided to stupidly update the game to a PlayStation 5 style, which I personally think is stupid. You don't need it to be PlayStation 5, it's already really solid as a game. You know, like, it's already really solid as a game. So why should I, you know, have to care about that? Like, you know, like, they wanted in the dev team, apparently wanted Miles and Peter to have the same number of suits, which I think is a fair thing. I think it's fair, but it means that the first game has multiple stuff over the second game for no reason other than, well, we improved the graphics, we improved all that junk, and it's like, yes, you improved all that junk, but at the end of the day, there was no real point. Like, there's no real point to not have all the suits come back. And the only thing they did is PlayStation 5ify it, which, yes, is cool, but if the next game comes out on the PlayStation 6, I'm not going to see a reason for it. Because then this game, the second game, is going to be a lot worse. Because all the problems with the second game are mostly because they were too, you know, they tried too hard to make, you know, us as a player base really, really want, you know, the PlayStation 5 graphics and stuff, which I felt the first game, if you gave it the PlayStation 5 treatment, would come out as a way better and superior game, even without the double the map size and the, you know, better map quality, than Spider-Man 2, because while Spider-Man 2 improved on the combat mechanics, there was so much missing stuff from Spider-Man 1 that wasn't in Spider-Man 2. you know? Like, to the point where it's almost ridiculous. Like, you miss out on so many cool gadgets that make the gadgets actually worth it to use. And on top of this, you miss out on so much cool junk. Places everyone? Because I'll be honest, as cool as the game is, Spider-Man 2 that is, there's so many mechanics and stuff that isn't that cool and amazing. That they've, you know, upgraded for little to no reason. Like, can you genuinely look me in the eyes and tell me that, I don't know. Like, Spider-Man 2, obviously amazing game. But when you compare it with Spider-Man 1 with all the features they dropped out, like the suit powers and the suit mods. The suit mods, not talking about the PC mods, the mods in the game that altered how you as Spider-Man played, was fun, even if you put on XP, the XP one. Each one of them felt like a cool way to uniqueify your Spider-Man. So you had suit powers that did a lot in terms of your stuff, and you had the suit mods, and then you had the gadgets and how you utilize them and how you use Peter's moveset. Throwing all those in your Spider-Man playstyle can be very different to the next person. But in Spider-Man 2, that was way different and way less. There's definitely a case for why I think that Spider-Man 1 is a better game overall than Spider-Man 2, and that's because in Spider-Man 1 they weren't focused on improving the graphics to an incredible degree or anything. They weren't focused on PlayStation 5-ifying it, which if they ever have a PlayStation 6, you know, what are they going to do at the end of the day? You know, are they going to... Aww! What are they going to do? The limited stuff that they could do isn't going to be that impressive. Well, by the way, this is cute. Just doing this so I can get across my points. Like, the small extra section that they can do in Spider-Man 3 is going to be so much smaller compared to Spider-Man 2. The only thing they can do is add more of New York and the surrounding areas. And along with that, they can add slightly more graphical power, and that's about it. Like, what are they going to add more? The amount that they can add is going to be so small, so I'm hoping they don't use some Peter and Miles having the same number of excuses when Silk comes in. Because Miles, you can make the argument that Miles has a lot of suits now, especially because of how much the comics have been favouring him. Bloodhunt is a great example where I think that suit should have been in Spider-Man 2. I'm going to be honest, it was an amazing suit, and it still is. I'm going to get the Omnibus. I pre-ordered it when it comes out in April or March. April or March, one of the two. But I pre-ordered that, just because of how much I like Miles' suit and the story plotline and all the people joining, and Venom War, and how much stuff I enjoy out of all those comics. That I pre-ordered them, because I like them, which kind of speaks to how much I like Spider-Man, but dislike Spider-Man 2. Because I think that Venom, every time they have Venom have that stupid, every time they have Venom be just a monster. Like, you have Spectacular Spider-Man, which did Venom very well, even though he still was like hunting Peter and didn't really have any good notes. You have Ultimate Spiderman, which had Agent Venom come in, and a lot more good moments for Venom, due to that partly. And then you have the 2017 show, which expanded on the symbiotes lore and stuff. You know, which I think is good. You caught me walking, running around my house as in Minecraft sort of gameplay style. Speaking of, the Reincarnated Slime mod properly came out recently. That looks really cool. I'm enjoying Ginger Shredder's playthrough. I mean, enjoying Manus's mods, you know, playthrough. Not on their stream or anything, but like, because it's 6 hours, and I'm going to be honest, I cannot pay attention to 6 hours. So just watch whenever they do an edited part and it comes out. Just because 6 hours is a long time. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to stream for 6 hours unless I, you know, start generating money from Twitch and stuff. You see like if you ever see like a 6 hour thing pop up on the YouTube, that's why. Me preparing for a subathon by playing 6 hours of games or something. Whatever, you get what I mean. But like, I'm stretching this, by the way. I'm stretching this video because this is like my ending to ASTRO BOT almost. Good pigeon. But you get what I mean. Where it's like, everything that there is in Spider-Man 2 is fun. But I hope that they don't give Silk the same treatment they've been giving Miles. Because if they do, then Peter and Miles are going to have so little amount of suits. Like, such a small amount of suits. Because, oh, well, we haven't made a Silk game or whatever. Which I think they are going to make a Silk game, I hope they do. And they hope, because they're going to have to make so many Insomniac originals. I think the way they can do it, is pretty simple. Okay, guys? Reason with me here. Reason with me here, guys. That I think what they could do is they could give her all the female suits. The female Spider-Man suits. The Spider-Woman suits. Especially the What If ones. Okay? Especially the What If ones. I think they could easily do all the What If ones. Like Spider Princess, I hope we get a Spider Princess. An iconic Spider Princess design. Because Spider Princess, okay. Spider Princess, right? She has, you know, a princessy dress. She has a tiara. She has, you know, she has heels as well. All these aspects come together for a really cool design. In my opinion, it's a really cool design. And like them having Ghost Spider and like all these kind of characters would make a lot of sense. At the end of the day, and it would be quite fun to have all these sort of ideas and concepts come together, and that's the only way they're going to be able to shove it out, which then would mean that Miles would have the least number of suits again, which would then bring it into a Miles problem again. Because as much as I love Miles in the games, I think the second game didn't have a lot for him to do, so the third game focuses on Peter and Cindy Moon, or Silk. There's going to be a big thing where like Peter isn't able to do a lot, you know. And that's my genuine opinion as well. Peter's not going to be able to do a lot. At the end of the day, Peter's not going to be able to do as much as compared to other characters. Comparatively to comparatively to like because Miles' second game was kind of bad because the biggest plot point he got was his school stuff, and that's it really. You know, which I personally believe isn't that good. Compared to like Peter definitely had the main plot, which is weird how they ended it off with Miles. But yeah, I am just gonna go through all these guys' like animations and stuff while I'm here. Just because I might as well. Not gonna grab the dogs or anything. But yeah. And that's my opinion, but my opinion is that like I think the game could have done more. I think my biggest gripe about the game, I'm sorry about this, but give Venom his 2 more abilities and give Anti-Venom 2 more as well. I'm sorry, but that genuinely frustrates me. I don't mind about Miles not having a 3rd level of abilities, but trust me, I'd rather that, you know, Miles, you know, just finish off something rather than not. Also, I'm gonna be honest, the golden trinkets, the golden gadgets was such a stupid New Game Plus add-on. I'm sorry, they don't even look good. Because you turn them on and then suddenly you have to deal with the golden sparks out your stuff. That doesn't look good. Also the fact that one of the update patches literally removed. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Removed a part of animation and modeling and texturing. They removed the web shooters because people were like, oh, I don't like the web shooters show up. And it's like, come on, the web shooters look cool. Some people might disagree with me, but that's my definite opinion. That's Miss Sparrow. Now this is a cool model, I'm gonna be honest. His passion. But my opinion is that like I prefer, like at the end of the day, I kind of prefer. Sorry, my brain's like, I prefer Peter's gameplay style because start of the game, I can understand why you'd use Miles, but when the vent symbiotes come in, it just feels like a useless thing. Like, I'm sorry, but it genuinely doesn't feel useful anymore to have Miles there, because Peter has anti-venom. Also, they really should have given us back the Miles feature. Now, you might not remember this feature from Miles, depending on who you are. Oh yeah, I remember this one. But the Miles game had a feature of turning off any crime you wish. Yes, you could turn off any crime you want. If you don't like how a crime works in the game, you could just remove it if you wanted. Think about that. You could remove any crime you wanted whenever you wanted. You could take off all the crimes that you didn't like. Well, you know, I think it was good that I didn't, you know, when I completed the game, check through those, because I would have been disappointed. But like, that's my opinion at the end of the day. I think that Miles becomes a bad character when you get to that point. When you get to the point of Miles, like, as the symbiote's coming out, Miles becomes less of a character, becomes worse. Oh, that's cute. Like, I think the Mary Jane sections have too much plot weight, if that makes sense as well. Because Mary Jane is the reason why Peter gets the symbiote, because if he didn't go there, you know, Pete would have had time and might have even brought Harry and Miles, and personally speaking, if he brought Harry and Miles, he would have just won. They would have won inherently. They would have won inherently. And you can't really say they wouldn't, because Miles, Peter and Harry all being there would have made it nearly impossible for you know, them not to win against Craven. It's a definite point. And then on the second one, oh yeah, the first one also just kills off half the Sinister Six. I think that's bad in general. Because I'll be honest, it's such a more cool idea that you just keep them for the third game or whatever. You don't need a plot point to be fulfilled. You don't need something to have a conclusion. You can just have them about. There's no negative for them being out and about in general. I also have a problem in the second game how Peter could know who Craven is. He doesn't need to not know who Craven is. It's a bad plot thing because he could know who Craven is. There's no downside to knowing who Craven is because you can just have him hopped up on a super juice. And then they wouldn't have followed the exact nature of the first game. By having, you know, Peter know who Craven is, it would have been nice. Because otherwise you follow much of the same sort of thing that happened, and that's kind of bad. How are you guys doing? Oh, you're supposed to be playing it? Okay. That's kind of my opinion. The orb isn't here. But that's kind of my opinion. I know that some people might say otherwise, but yeah, then we have the second one. The second one isn't that bad. Like, the second one isn't bad in terms of general game. It's the case of, okay, so now we know that the symbiote does in fact take over Peter. So why not have it that occasionally what happens is that the symbiote just takes over you and you can't control Peter anymore. That'd be fun. Maybe after that moment, each time you use your ultimate move, that, you know, Venom takes over. Aww. He doesn't wake up when we do it, but when you do, oh, that's cute. Like, I know it's, you know, some people might say it's a, you know, a stupid change, but I think it's a really good change. It would mean that there aren't just positives to, you know, to the game. There aren't just inherent positives to having the symbiote. Because for us as a player, there's only positives. And that's kind of bad, creatively speaking. Like, you can genuinely write something to be way better than that. I know that PlayStation and Sony can, because, yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, that scene is literally, that segment of the game is literally the reason why, that Venom becomes evil. Or, you know, quickly reveals who he is, because MJ, who, you know, Venom believes, you know, because he is Venom in the game, believes that Mary Jane, you know, loves Peter and stuff. You know, just attacked him for no reason, because she tased him. She sees Peter's fine, and then just goes, "I've got to wake you up," and then tased him, which is a stupid decision to leave Miles against an entire army of Craven's goons anyway. Instead of just letting Venom and Peter just deal with it, you know, Venom and Miles just deal with it for a bit. Because they've no reason to suspect that, you know, they're evil other than the gameplay thing. Because other than the gameplay thing, they aren't evil. Other than the gameplay reason, they aren't evil. You know? From a gameplay perspective, they are evil. But from a story perspective, they are evil, but we have no reason to suspect them to be evil. No reason whatsoever. Anyone else think that's weird? Like, from a gameplay perspective, we have no reason for them to be evil. But the game tries to tell us that they're evil for no other reason than, but they are evil, you know? That's kind of what irritates me. You know. But yeah, I don't like the scene because she just tases Peter for little to no reason. If that makes sense. Like, there's so little reason for it. Alright. Like, does that make sense? Like, there's no reason for her to attack him. And at least the Venom being evil, which I don't really like. I think that's not really creative. Yes, that's when Venom starts disassociating them, you know. I think it's a cool story, but yeah. And then the first segment didn't even need to happen, I'll be honest. You should have sent Miles in. Or Pete. Rather than putting MJ in that much danger. You know. There's done of little things that people have thought of that's way better than what I think. Like you could have had, like, the anti-Venom suit become a toxic positivity thing if you completely reverse the negative traits of Venom. That's a cool idea. I think that Venom is a good character. Like, he's just misunderstood almost, you know. But the fact that not many people know that, like, one of the major things about Venom that he does when he first, you know, when Peter rips him off and betrays him, is that he instead, you know, makes sure Peter's safe, which I think is cool. Spiderman 2 didn't do a good job. They went the animated route, which they could have done a huge change in the industry with Spider-Man comics and just had it so that, you know, Venom was good in the game and it was a game focused on Craven and maybe Null somehow. Yeah, like, there's a lot in the game. Anyway, we have a lot of time left, so I'm just going to grab the dogs before I turn off. I rambled. Where's the rest of the animals? Yeah, that's my opinion. I think the third segment is bad, and also ending the game off with a mouse fight, and with mouse fighting Venom makes almost no sense. Like, literally, almost no sense. Okay, we got 3 buddies. And we got both robot dogs. Can't think there's anything else. Zoom. Up. Yeah, so we're gonna end it there. I rambled enough to make it a full video. So yeah. Anyway, I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing this game. Maybe you'll get some quick ones if it's just a speedrun update, but probably not. Anyway, I will be seeing you. Bye-bye, ASTRO BOT. I loved you as a game. I thought you were lovely. Wait, we can respectfully do one more thing. We can do one more thing respectfully. Ending the game at the title screen. So, fire game.